Hi today from the lovely Willemstad in Curacao in the Dutch Caribbean. Today I'll give you a slightly different take on the topic of compound interest in life and business. So join me after the break. Bon bini to Curacao. This is how they greet you here in the Dutch Caribbean. As I said, we'll be talking about a very special usage, very special application of the compound effect. Everybody knows about the compound effect, about the compound principle, about the compound interest in the investment area. When you invest, let's say with a 10% interest, roughly after 7 years, your principal will be doubled, right? After next 7 years again and again, and this is the power of compound interest. But here we'll be talking more about other applications of compound interest in business, in your private life, maybe even in politics. Let's say you want to improve in a skill, right? Let's say you want to learn a language, you want to improve your public speaking. If you improve your skill every day just by 1% each and every day, right? You work on that for half an hour, for 1 hour, depends on the skill, right? And you improve just 1% every day. What do you think will be your improvement? How many times you will improve your skill within a year? So the trivial approach would be 365 days times 100, right? 1% would be 3.65 times improvement. But this is a very trivial and not really correct approach, because this is compound effect. This is compounding, right? After 1 day, you don't have a skill of 1. Let's say you start from the level of 1. After 1 day, you don't have a increase from 1. You have an increase from 1.0.1. So after 2 days, you actually don't have the skill of 1.02. You have a little bit more than 1.02. It's actually 1.0201, something like that. Then after 3 days, actually, you have you have reached the level of 1.0302 and something. So you actually improve faster and faster. This is the compound effect, because your level rises and you have 1% improvement of the level you have reached already. So, and guess what happens after 365 days, after 1 year? You don't improve 3.65 times. You actually improve over 37 times. 37 times. So it's actually 1.01 to the power of 365. 37.7 times roughly. Imagine 37 times improvement within a year if you just improve just by 1% every day. Of course, after 2 years, you have then an improvement of 37 times 37. I don't know exactly how much it is, probably around 1,500 times. You improve 1,500 times if you improve just 1% every day, 2 years long. Amazing things. And this actually applies not only to skills. This applies to your health. This applies to sports. Of course, with health and sports, you have some limitations, some biological, genetic limitations. But nevertheless, the compound interest or the compound effect also in the biology, in the area of sports, of health, is amazing. And that's why it is important to do a little bit every day in sports, in health, to not have cheat days, not too many cheat days, try to do a little bit every day, and your effects will be amazing. And the same is in business. If you improve your business just by 1% every day, you will have a 37 time improvement in a year. If you do a little change that improves your revenue by 1% every day, right? You find out, what can I do today to improve my revenue by 1%? And of course you apply that, and you do it each and every day. After 1 year you have a 37 time improvement in your revenue. Amazing things, right? So let's say from $1 million you have, after a year, $37 million if you manage to improve your revenue just by 1% every day. You could also apply it to the field of politics. Why am I talking about that here from Curacao? Because Curacao was for a long time a Dutch colony, but it wasn't always Dutch. When it was discovered by Europeans, together with Aruba, with Bonaire, the so-called ABC Islands, of course they belonged to Spanish at first, but Spanish didn't appreciate these islands very much. They just drained the islands from the Indians that lived here, from the original population here, and they used them, so to say, as slaves in the colonies, in mining, in sugar production. So of course we are not talking about here about moral things, about morality, about ethics, because it was terrible, right? Terrible times and so on. What did the Dutch do? They started to invest in these islands, to bring here trade, to bring economy, to build companies, and so on and so on, to somehow also to bring population to these islands and to develop these islands. And this paid off. So the compound effect was a political one, because after a while, after 1-2 centuries, they were able to assimilate ABC Islands, so Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, actually without conquering them. So the Dutch didn't have actually to fight against Spanish to assimilate, to get these islands. They got it by assimilation, by investing into business in developing these islands. So the compound effect was of political nature. And this is the lesson that we can learn here in Curacao. And this is the power of compound effect in every area of life. I hope you like this video. If yes, give me a thumb up. If not, of course, thumb down. Subscribe if you haven't. Press the bell button to get the notifications. Share this video with your loved ones, with your friends. I'm talking here a lot about business, about doing great impossible things in life and business, about how the most successful entrepreneurs in our world think and act, about our time billionaires. So if you like this video, I invite you to watch my other videos. That's it for today from Curacao, from the cozy Willemstad in the Dutch Caribbean. I wish you a fantastic day. Let's do something extraordinary today.